Mahalo to hawaiiactivities.com for sponsoring this video. For more Hawaii videos, make sure you're subscribed and click that notification bell so you're alerted every time we post a new video.
Aloha, I'm Mariam, and this is Yes to Hawaii. We make Hawaii videos take the guesswork out of planning your trip. As always, I'll leave timestamps in the description box below, so feel free to skip around the video for the parts that you came here for. When we heard the volcano was going off, we booked a flight immediately. In today's video, we are island hopping from Oahu to Big Island to check out lava flow. This video and all the footage from it was filmed in early January. This video will be split into two parts. The first part is going to be our doors off helicopter ride over the active volcano, and part two will be our itinerary.
Paradise Helicopters is located at the Hilo Airport. After we watched our safety briefing, we headed over to the helicopter. We waited here until our flight was ready to go. And finally, it was our turn. We chatted with some people that were on the flight right before us, and they reminded us to make sure to bring a jacket and have layered clothing, which was also one of the recommendations given to us by Paradise Helicopters. Unfortunately, I completely forgot my jacket. I only had a light sweater and my tank top. Luckily, I was able to borrow a jacket. For the jackets, make sure that you wear a jacket that's very form-fitting. The jacket that I'm wearing, it's a couple sizes larger for me. However, the reason why this is important, as you'll see later in the video, when you're on the flight, it's very, very windy, and the wind will go into the jacket and make it very, very fluffy, and it's not quite as warm as it could be. For the flight, I would definitely recommend wearing either leggings, jeans, or long pants. And for the tops, make sure to wear a long sleeve shirt, a hoodie, and a form-fitting rain jacket or windbreaker. We do have these headphones here where music will be playing the entire time, and I made sure to wear sunglasses too. We're getting ready for the flight and we're about to be off. Luckily, I was seated right up front. Total passengers was just the three of us and the pilot. And we're about to go off. I was so excited. This flight, even looking back at this footage as I'm talking about this to you guys, this flight was so much fun. Now for the doors off flight, as you can see, I'm super excited. Doors off flights in general, in my opinion, your photos and video are going to be quite a bit better. As you can see looking out of the front glass, how there's that reflection that's showing up. When I turn to the right here, there's no glass there for the doors off helicopters, so the photos and videos are going to be a lot more clear. This ocean view was absolutely gorgeous. You can see all of this greenery here, the turquoise and deep blue water, absolutely beautiful. This entire flight was probably one of my favorite flights, and oh, there we go. This is where I'm showing you guys how the jacket with the wind, how it makes it a lot more puffier, so it's a lot chillier than I had anticipated. What's really cool too is as we go on and see the rest of the flight, when we're over the actual active volcano, you can actually feel the heat from the volcano even though we're so much higher up in the air. Now we're in the beginning parts of the flight that shows the lava field. So this view goes on for quite some time, and this video doesn't really do it justice. It's very, very humbling to see how the lava has completely changed this area of the landscape. You can see some of the damaged trees here, and over here is on the right hand side is still a lot of greenery. We're getting closer and closer to the active volcano. As we fly here, this is probably one of the coolest parts of the flight, minus the lava, of course. As we fly over this way, our pilot did an amazing job. She was able to rotate the helicopter so those of us that were on the right side and on the left side were able to see everything really well. In most helicopter flights, especially when pilots do these turns, sometimes it can cause nausea or motion sickness if you're susceptible to that kind of thing, and sometimes I would get nauseous. However, with the doors off flight and how amazing our pilot was, I did not get motion sickness at all. Part of it, I think, was the adrenaline of being in a doors off flight and having the fresh air just circulating within the helicopter. Overall, would definitely recommend this flight. This is the first part where it's truly humbling to see how much this entire area is impacted. And granted, you can see this in the video, you can see it in photos, but just seeing it on a helicopter in real life in front of you, it is incredibly humbling and makes you realize how incredibly small we are in the grand scheme of things. We're getting closer and closer to the active volcano with the lava. We're going over more of this lava field, and we're seeing the impact that the lava has had on these trees, how they've been damaged, and there's pockets of areas of just the lava flow. As you can see, I'm still really excited. Even looking back to this footage so I can show you guys, it's amazing. Again, seeing this in a video or a photo just doesn't do it justice as it would seeing it in real life, seeing it on a helicopter and from an aerial view. Even these, just seeing these craters and how all of this has been impacted, it's wild to think about. So the way we were explained on the flight and before the flight, some of these areas are just areas where the ground has caved in on itself. And over here you can see a lot of the lava that's coming up here on the left-hand side. Not from right here, but as we get closer and closer to the actual volcano and the lava, when we get a little bit closer, you can actually feel the heat of the lava, which is wild to think about because we're so high up, but that should give you a little bit of context of how incredibly hot the lava is. And although we knew that the lava was incredibly hot, the idea that we could feel the lava from this high up in the air was insane. And we were able to get a really good view. Again, the pilot was able to turn to the right, to the left, so we could see the lava from different angles, and so that way everybody in the helicopter had a chance to take really good photos. We're here for a little bit, and as you can see, I'm incredibly excited just to be here. This is something I wanted to do for a very, very long time, so I was really excited that we were able to catch this flight and be able to see the lava. And I'm so glad that you guys are watching this video so you can see a little bit of what we saw. I hope that you guys do end up getting to see a flight like this in person one day. This is where the lava was just, wow, it was so cool. This flight was amazing. We're here for a little bit longer, and then we'll carry on to the rest of the flight. This was just amazing, absolutely amazing. And if this flight is something you would like to check out or do, I'll leave a link in the description box below so you can book this exact same flight if you would like, or if you prefer, you can also book a doors on flight. As I mentioned, I think the doors off flight is better for photos, however it is quite windy. So if you prefer a more comfortable flight, the doors on flights are again fully enclosed with air conditioning. It's not going to be windy at all, so it's all personal preference depending on what you're looking for, and you can always chat with the helicopter company to see what might work out better for you. I've done both. For this flight, it was incredibly cold, incredibly chilly, again because I forgot to bring a jacket. We're passing over this area here and we're checking out these really, really cool waterfalls. We knew we were going to see volcanoes and lava, and we knew we might see a couple waterfalls, but just seeing it in person was absolutely amazing, and I'm so glad you guys are here watching this with us. And now we're getting near the end of our flight, unfortunately. We've seen a lot of the volcano, the lava, waterfalls, and we're passing over this town area, and then we're heading back to the airport. Gorgeous ocean views over here on the left-hand side and directly in front of us, and now we're descending to get back to the heliport. Keep in mind, if you do decide to bring your cell phone with you to take photos or video, it has to be attached to you if you choose to do a doors off flight. So you'll need to either purchase or rent a lanyard to wear around your neck or a wrist strap. Same thing goes if you decide to bring a GoPro or other small action camera. It has to be attached to you, either a wrist strap or a lanyard. This is probably one of the coolest flights that I've done so far. And again, I'm so glad you guys were able to come and see a little bit of the flight. After we finished the flight and we touched down, I'll be going over the itinerary that we went to do. So for this flight, we only flew over to the Big Island just for the day. We drove over to the Volcanoes National Park, and then we also went over to Rainbow Falls and Akaka Falls before we went to our helicopter flight. Our flight was around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and after the flight, we headed into Hilo Town for dinner, and we caught the last flight of the day back to Oahu. This was so much fun. I'll flip the camera around here, and now you can see the lanyard that I was talking about. So I had my cell phone attached to this lanyard, that way I could take photos and video. I'm really glad that I had my hair tied up as well. So if you do have longer hair, make sure to braid your hair and put it in a bun, just because if you're on the doors off flight, it is incredibly windy. Overall, this was an amazing flight, and now on to our itinerary.
So on to part 2, our itinerary. There is so much to see on Big Island, and we were only there just for the day. We flew over from Oahu to the Big Island just for the doors off helicopter ride. We caught a mid-morning flight, explored a bit of Big Island, went on our doors off helicopter, and then flew back to Oahu on the last flight of the day. We wanted to check out a few different places, but still keep it easy and stress-free. I've worked as a concierge for almost 10 years here on Oahu, and when it comes to itinerary planning, simple is best. Having all of your travel details in one place makes it so much easier. So I made this free printable to keep all your details in one place. Here you can jot down all your important details for your hotel, your car rental, your activities, everything that you would need on one page. And yes, you can still have all of this in the digital format. However, having that backup hard copy itinerary makes it so much easier if your phone battery dies, you have spotty cell phone service, or you're traveling internationally and you have zero cell phone service and can only access your email or important details when you're connected to Wi-Fi. I'll leave a link in the description box below and in the cards above for this free printable. I hope you guys liked it. In the next few videos, I'll show you how I use this simple one-page itinerary to help plan trips either to a neighbor island or if I have friends who are visiting here. Now, as for our itinerary, if you'd like to copy what we did, this is what we did. We started here on Oahu. The airport code to fly out of is HNL. Kilo is on the Big Island. Now, there are two main airports on the Big Island. The first is the Kona Airport, which is on the west side of Big Island, and the second is the Hilo Airport, which is on the east side of the Big Island. We flew into the Hilo Airport with airport code ITO. So again, HNL to ITO. The airline we flew on was Hawaiian Airlines. Now, getting the airport code right is super important because if you were to accidentally fly into Kona instead, it's a 2-hour drive from the west side of the island to where we were for the volcanoes. Now, unlike Oahu, if you're flying to the Big Island, you will need a rental car. Lucky for us, the rental car at Hilo Airport was literally right across from the arrival area. Grabbing our rental was easy and we were off. There's a few different points of interest around the island, but if you're looking for two easy to access waterfalls that you can stop for about an hour or less, this is a great option. Two popular, easy to access waterfalls are Akaka Falls and Rainbow Falls. Akaka Falls looks like this, and it's a fully paved trail just like a sidewalk. Rainbow Falls looks like this, and there's not really any hiking involved. From the place where you park your car to where you can see the waterfall, it's less than 5 minutes. If you like this video and want to check out other itinerary idea videos, you can check out the playlist in the cards above and in the links below.